What's up going on, great people? It's your favorite homeboys in the building. Nick Wilcox, Johnny Main out here. Gonna be breaking down week 4 for y'all. Got some headliners. Gonna be recapping what just happened. Our initial reactions to all of it, and probably some guys for the waiver wire that are gonna be on our so-called to-do list to get players, whatever you want to call it, for upcoming. So we got the week 4 reaction show right at y'all. Johnny, tell us how you feeling, what's happening as we go along, talking about what happened in each game.
I feel like what's his name? I feel like Unique's brother on Raising Canaan right now. That's who I feel like right now. I feel like him. I just want to be like, I ain't got no reaction because and that's really what it is. Is I did not hate my day until about 6:45 or 6:50 p.m. and then I really started kind of hating my day. Like I absolutely just started hating my day. But no, I mean, like there was still some good football on the zone. Obviously, takes you for an emotional ride.
Sure does.
Yeah, takes you for an emotional ride for sure. Was feeling good for a little bit, man. Like was definitely feeling good.
Feeling yourself a little bit, yeah. I understand.
I'm not feeling myself. I was just like, I'm not like, listen, I just like to be in the green. Like I'm not greedy. I just like to come out on the other end and just not have to deposit. That's the mantra, right? And unfortunately, we will be depositing over here on this side of town. So it was a rough one for sure. I didn't really do any props. I just did some games. I took Tampa Bay 3.5, Commanders. I did Tampa Bay in the points, Commanders in the points. I can't remember who else I did, but I had like a 4-game parlay like that did not hit. And then DFS wise, man, Caleb Williams, brother, him and Justin Herbert, brother. They did me kind of dirty today, and Ricky Pearsall getting hurt. That did not help. That did not help. Yeah, that didn't help either. So overall, like I said, like it was not a very, very productive day in the DFS world for one Johnny Main. So I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to ramp back up again tonight or if I'm just going to take the rest of the night off and get back at it tomorrow. But it was definitely the roughest day of me so far. Roughest day of the year for me so far, for sure.
Well, I guess I had better luck today. If it wasn't for Vanilla Vic and Jonathan Taylor, I'd probably be a richer man. DFS wise, we had Puka Nacua, we had Marion Hampton, we had Drake London. You know what I'm saying? Just sometimes just what happens. And Mahomes, I was talking about being 6K, didn't play him.
Yeah,
it is what it is. But Rob, yo, what up, man? Definitely smashing Fans Classics today. I put up so far in that Fans Classic league, I have 157 right now. So yeah, in that roster, obviously, players that we mentioned: Hampton, Bucky Irving, Debo Samuel. Like, what up? We still got A-Chan on that roster. We got Tyler Warren and Dallas Goedert on that roster. Like, we cooking today. We cooking for that Fans Classic line for sure. Johnny, how's your ESPN Fans Classic? The so-called real Fans Classic.
The real Fans Classic is today is not a good day. Going up against
AJ Brown.
Oh no, it wouldn't have mattered, man. Like today, like going up against Patrick Mahomes, Ashton Genty, Puka Nacua, Quinshon Judkins. Like, hey man, like listen, I always like to say this, man. Like in these type of situations, like, if you're going to have a shitty week, it's better to have a shitty week when you're going to get somebody that absolutely is cooking you. So there's no way for me to really be able to do anything with that. So I will just take my licking and keep on ticking. The qualifier, on the other hand, the qualifier is looking good.
Yeah.
That team should pull out the win today. Had Jettas and the number 1 wide receiver for the Chargers, Quentin Johnson, who was somebody else I played a lot of today. So really, I just have to avoid your boy, Devon A-Chan, Chase Brown, and George Pickens. And I have Breece Hall to go. So I'm up 115 to 78. So Still, obviously, a lot can happen between now and then. So we'll see how it
Again.
goes. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, word. You were going against me.
Wait, who? Rob? Wait, Rob?
I don't know. Rob's
yeah.
got to give us. Maybe he was. I don't know.
I feel like Rob is in the actual fans classic. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
yeah, it is. That's him.
Nice.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, so that's you. That's you whooping my ass.
Smacking that booty.
Yeah, that's you. That's you whooping my ass today, which makes it even worse because now I am going to go on a full blown tirade because fucking
boy.
Yeah, Ashton Genty finally decides to come to the party today. Finally.
A little late to the party, but
yeah, a little late.
I just traded for him too in another league, yo.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, perfect timing. Talk about perfect timing.
Yeah.
Oh, Haywood. What up, Haywood?
What's up, bro?
Yeah, John, it happens to the best of us.
Oh yeah.
It sure does.
Listen, you know, I think the one thing I can definitely say is my record is not flawless. You know what I mean? It is not flawless. But I will bounce back. Word to Juvie the Great. And I will be back next week. Better than ever, man, for sure.
Nice. Let's start with the Dirty Birds. Let's start with the Falcons beating the Commanders. I called that one. And again, Penix throwing for 300 passing yards. Didn't see that coming. I knew Drake London would have it. If it was going to happen, Drake London had to be involved. Obviously, Bijan Robinson had to be involved. So this is a good game. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was at the casino today, just watching other games and stuff, like I got a chance to watch some of this, but not fully. But again, look, Bijan Robinson did his thing, 181 total yards and a touchdown. Like, it's over 100 yards receiving. I kid you not. Second time he's done this season, and it's like, it looks good on him. It really looks good on him because, like, be honest, he did this in 4 catches on 5 targets. Like, wow. But yeah, Falcons get it done. They're on bye next week. So I feel like they needed this one in terms of, again, for their confidence and for Penix's confidence and just to right the wrongs from last week. So kudos to the Falcons on there. Johnny, what you got to say in general?
Well, I talked about Kyle Pitts this morning, and he came through 5 catches, 5 targets, 70 yards, and a touch. So
it's about damn time Kyle Pitts is starting to come through, though, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think like it is what it is, right? I think we all didn't draft him like crazy early like we had in the last 2 years, but he came through. So he was somebody I did have in a couple of my DFS lineups. And like I said, man, like played like 6 lineups on DraftKings. Had a lot of the right players, just the wrong combinations, but definitely nice work for Kyle Pitts today for sure. And yeah, like the Commanders, they hung around, man. They kept it tough. Just like I thought they would. 1 possession game, so not 1.5 points, but 1 possession game. So again, man, hey, it is what it is, man. Kudos to the Falcons for sure. And Drake London, same thing, man. Had him in a couple spots, so definitely a big day for him for sure. So yeah, no griping or complaining about that.
Nah, my guy Deebo Samuel though doing his thing out there too. Whew, yeah, it was a good. Yeah, I like this game in general for all the fantasy pieces involved. Yeah, just really excited about again, Falcons on bye upcoming this week. So, I mean, look, because they have a bye week, you never know. Someone may still, I think the bye little window on Drake London is closed completely, but you can still see if you can inquire about him. But I would say, like, look, I think for 1 week at least, things look like they're on the up and up for Atlanta. Bills holding off the Saints because, again, this game was something I was like, I didn't expect, Josh Allen to kind of, and this Bills offense and this team in general to kind of look all like weird. But this was a weird game. Like the Saints were kind of chipping at the heels a little bit. It didn't look like a team that was a 14-point underdog out there on the road. It looked like a tested, proven team that went through several battles. But the Bills do hold off the Saints. They got it done. Josh Allen, QB3 on the week so far. He had 3 total touchdowns and on over 200 yards passing, which just felt like a pedestrian Josh Allen game. James Cook, obviously, did us greatness for the props today. Coming through, over 135 yards total. in this one. And I just think that those are solidified pieces in Buffalo. Like, you know, if you have them, you're feeling phenomenal about those. It's just secondary pieces sometimes just get you all over the place. And then for the Saints, like, you know, give it credit to Spencer Rattler and Kamara and all these guys for, you know, showing up, because there were some teams today that didn't show up. Yeah. So, well, anything to add? I mean, the Saints, I just feel like the Saints is just going to be one of those teams that, like, you know, they're going to give it their best effort, but it's most times going to be, they're going to be lost in the sauce.
No, like, I think this was just one that, like, I played Kamara, and I had the right concept, but the wrong player. Keandre Miller, which I don't think would have been the guy. That wouldn't have been the guy that anybody played. But the Bills have been one of the worst defenses in the NFL when it comes to rushing. And today was an opportunity. I talked about that earlier on. Talked about Alvin Kamara and what him versus light boxes. And this was a game that, like, they were able to hang around with, right? Like, they were able to hang around in this game. And yeah, man, like, I'm not shocked at what the Saints were able to do on the ground by any stretch of the imagination. Then they got down by the red zone, and then Chris Olave, like, throws an interception, like, trying to run like the Philly special or something crazy like that right there. So, like, you know, you talk about, like, you know, a turning point of a game, like, that was definitely a turning point in the game for sure, like, in that space. And, you know, like you talked about, man, the secondary pieces are, you know, for the Bills, like, you know, if you have them, like, God bless you, because you're playing them as, like, wide receiver fours. And, like, you know, Kincaid actually did come through.
He sure did again. Yeah, that's been consistent so far this year. So
yeah, so he came through today as well. Like, you know, if you played him, so, you know, like I said, this one pretty much went the way, like, I thought it was going to go in my mind. There wasn't any real shocks for me, like, in this game. So yeah. I feel like Keandre Miller's a guy that obviously now we'll probably talk about him tomorrow as far as the waiver wire, but I'm pretty sure he'll probably be a pretty hot waiver wire at this week.
Yeah, totally, for sure. Who had Gainwell and who had Marks in their lineups? Look, the Millie Maker winner had Marks in their lineup, if you could believe that. No, but Gainwell wasn't on the main slate because it was the 9:30 game. So unless you played, like, either the Thursday, like the weird all day from Thursday on, all the games for the week, if you played that slate, or if you played, you know, the slate that included the 9:30 game, then yeah, Woody Marks, yeah, I know, crazy. Like, you know, it was something that, you know, we did say that Woody Marks is getting more usage a little bit in terms of, you know, seeing more snaps and whatnot, but it wasn't something on our radar, honestly, today. So we didn't think that boom was going to happen for him today. So,
well, I did talk about the Titans and them being the actual worst run defense in the NFL, period. But, like, you got to have a lot of stones to play Woody Marks, like, in any of these tournaments, and, like, not knowing who, like, the Saints were a team, the Texans were a team, the Patriots were another team that I had is, like, okay, like, for running back spots, like, these were places that, like, you could get to, right? But I think, like, again, like, playing single entries, like, it's like I said, like, you got to be very, very confident to play a guy like Woody Marks in that space. Like, if I was going to play anybody, I probably would have ended up playing Nick Chubb more so in that space. I played Travion Henderson, right, in that space against the Carolina Panthers, but, like, definitely, like, that was there. But, like, I mean, Woody Marks, like, yeah, like, looks like he's trending towards being the guy there in Houston. But yeah, man, like, that yeah, that's I'm at a loss of words for this week already. So
that's all right.
No, and I don't have I don't have Kenny Gainwell at all.
No, Lions stay strong. That was something that, you know, that the Browns could have had an opportunity to at least get this, you know. I took them live at one point today. That was a mistake. But it is what it is. Detroit rolls on. Amon-Ra rolls on. The Roaring Lions continue. I think it's time to bench Flacco. This offense is the Cleveland defense was just like, when they were able to make a few stops, but then there was no points scored from Cleveland on those, when they got them the ball back. Like, Flacco just didn't look like Flacco. He just threw 2 interceptions in this game. Judkins was the lion's share back, 21 totes with the football for 82 yards. And then through the air, it's like, Isaiah Bond showed up a little bit. He might be someone we may talk about tomorrow for the waiver wire show. 3 catches, 58 yards because Tillman left the game with an injury. So other than that, nothing to show for the tight ends in this game. Like, it's just one of those situations where Cleveland, you would have thought he would have been able to get a piece or two of this offense for some of your lineups today, but honestly, it just did not pan out well. Yes, he looked very old today. And someone picking the Giants, like the 1,000 on the Giants with plus 400, yo. They must have some like money laying around their couches, yo, because that is nuts today. Like, we definitely thought the Chargers were gonna go out there and handle business. They got lost in the sauce. Herbert got lost in the sauce.
Yeah. But again, we talked about it, man. Like, this is like that was one of those games where I talked about it. Is like having the quarterback change can elevate everybody else like around them. And
emotionally.
Did I pick the Giants? Hell no, I didn't pick the Giants, right?
No, but it was in the cards.
It was in the cards, like for sure. Like it was definitely in the cards. And like the Chargers did Charger stuff today. Like they went back to being the old Chargers. And then obviously Malik Neighbors going down for the season. We were talking about that a little bit before we got online, man. Like, that's absolutely terrible for Jackson Dart, for sure. Like, literally
for the whole team and the whole season.
Worst case scenario for the Giants, literally. And obviously too, fantasy managers, obviously, but shout out to the G-Man, for being able to pull off that win for sure. Like, again, been saying it all season long, like them in Cleveland defensively, even though like they're 2 of the worst teams in the NFL, defensively, like they put a pretty good product out there today. And I think like today, like you've seen what it looked like when they're clicking on all cylinders. So shocked, yes, just as shocked as everybody else. But definitely looks like Jackson Dart looks like that guy's definitely the real deal. And it's not
like the Chargers. The Chargers kept the defense in it. They got 5 sacks on Dart. Want to count 6 when Russell Wilson was in the game. Like, they did their part. It was just the offense for the Chargers and Herbert, man. Like, just Herbert, when it came time to convert certain downs, the Giants got to him late. Pressure, descend to third, 2 interceptions. You know what I'm saying? So just, look, the Giants, like you said, they put together a nice product today for sure. Without Malik Neighbors moving forward, though, boy.
We shall see. We shall see.
Patriots crushed the Panthers. We both called this. That was easy money. I've been at Carolina, I root for them because I've used to cover them in the past. So it's something that, I do like the Panthers a little bit, but it's like, I knew I just had a feeling that Carolina was going to come out and put out a dud off a high that they were coming off of against Atlanta. It's like, nah, we saw through that for sure. Patriots dominate 42-13. Look, man, like, Carolina is basically the score should have been 42 at least a 6. It's garbage time touchdown late in the 4th. But Bryce Young, I don't know what you do with Bryce Young, man. I don't know if he's the future or whatever have you, but it's not like Carolina just could not compete with New England for whatever reason today. They stymied, New England stymied Hubbard. McMillan got some of his or whatever. Even Andy Dalton was in this game, obviously, at one point. So, again, kudos to New England. They did what they needed to do today. The problem I still have with them, and the gripe I still have with them, is why are they not consistently playing Henderson more? Like what? 15 touches, carries between Stevenson and Gibson still. Like, these guys didn't really see much of a doghouse, in my opinion. And, of course, Stephon Diggs the last couple of weeks, we're trying to be on him in the prop land. Now he explodes today for 6 catches, 101 yards. There goes the buy low window if you were looking to buy low on him. But at least Hunter Henry caught a touchdown pass today as well. So New England kept up, in terms of just like where we thought that New England could potentially be going. And, again, Drake May, like over 200 yards passing, and just had a decent day in general. It's just New England, the defense, everything came together for them today.
Yeah, 4 rushing touchdowns. Drake May, Travion Henderson, Antonio Gibson, and Travion Henderson,
And
Antonio Gibson, Drake
yeah,
May. Yeah, so 3. So 3 rushing touchdowns today, overall. It's apparent Mike Vrabel hates our fantasy football teams. Yes, please free him. Yes, he hates our fantasy football teams and doesn't care about them. And the
nope,
Panthers, man, like, hey, man, like, what would you expect anything less? Like,
nope, nope,
would
and
you
no,
would
nope,
you expect anything
nope,
less? Right.
nope,
So yeah,
absolutely not.
my man.
Hunter Hearst Henry.
I am the game. I come out here every week and I run my mouth every week. I am the game.
You want to go? We'll go get the rock and bologna sandwich.
Oh my God.
I love that one liner. Eagles, fight the heat in Tampa is right. That's a nice headline. Take care of the Bucks. This game, momentum wise, just started out mad early. Eagles get a special teams touchdown early, and they end up scoring 14 points in that first quarter alone. It just kind of sailed. Tampa Bay came back a little bit later on in the game, second half in particular. But it was just, the Eagles had talk about another team that had all things clicking. It was a game where, I'm glad the Eagles came out and showed out in terms of, what they're all capable to do. It really was a team effort today. Hurts 130 yards passing, 2 touchdowns through the air and 1 on the ground. But it was like, not 1 on the ground. But in terms of just touchdowns in general for this team, like really came out and just did what he needed to do. 2 catches, 7 yards for A.J. Brown is definitely concerning, though, from my opinion. And then 19 carries, 43 yards for Barkley. Like, man, we knew Tampa Bay's run defense was definitely stout, though. So this was definitely not a spot to target that if you're going to do that. But yeah, Baker Mayfield came out, did this thing as well. Almost 300 yards passing, 289. Bucky Irving, yo. And Mecca, when he had that 77-yard bomb, I was like, oh, okay, we're cooking. We're cooking now. Like, this is going to be a back-and-forth game. I like this. But, in terms of, like, other things in this game, like, Tampa, they should feel pretty good about themselves still. Obviously, no Mike Evans. Godwin played in this game, but it wasn't like he was, Godwin yet. So 3 catches, 26 yards is nothing to write home about, but it's something where, as the weeks get along, Chris Godwin could still have a nice little role here. But in terms of this game, if you're the Eagles, got to feel great about yourselves, right? Getting this one on the road in a place that you normally struggle in.
Yeah, man, I think that the Bucks had a chance to win this game like multiple times. So, like, I think for Tampa, like they still are who I thought they were, right? Like they still are, one of the better teams in the NFL. And like, really, man, Baker Mayfield doesn't really start playing football until the fourth quarter. That's really what it is. And this was a game that, like, when the game script kind of lands like this, where it becomes on him, then that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to have a shot to play. No, he started off the day, man. It was ugly. The turnovers, right? The block field goal. I mean, the block punt. Just a lot of bad things happen, right? Just a lot of adversity for this team. Bucky Irving was definitely in play for sure. The receiving aspect of his game today. Obviously, don't even have to talk about that. You just look at the box score. But for me, like, I just think about how he actually looked as a runner today. Like, this was the first time I think all year for me. That, I was like, it's like, all right, like this is what I remember seeing last year. Don't worry, I'll get to that. I got that one too. Brock Purdy. Yeah, and then like as far as the Eagles go, man, like again, like they don't care about your fantasy team either. Like they are here to win football games. And Dallas Goedert, 37 yards and 2 touchdowns at the tight end position, right? But like the one thing, like I did say all off season, and I'll continue to stand on it, is Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts that's where it starts and ends, and it's not the other players right now. It's Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is the winner. He's the guy that's willing these guys to these victories offensively. So I'm continuing to stay with him. 62 yards on the ground today, 2 touchdowns through the air, 104 QB rating. So Again, like not flashy. I think we all know you're not going to get the 300-yard games from him, but what you are going to get is you are going to get
consistency.
touchdowns. You are going to get touchdowns from him.
A great floor
on the ground and through the air, and you also are going to get rushing yards as well. So shout out to the Eagles.
Definitely. Nate, shout out to Nate. Appreciate you coming on. Please subscribe to the channel, bro. We out here Sunday and Mondays. Definitely come through consistently. Would love to answer your question in regards to you being down 17 with Tyreek and the Broncos defense left. Definitely possible to get this win. If your opponent doesn't have any more players, even better. But be curious to know if you have your opponent has any other players left. I think Tyreek could definitely get more than 7 to 8 points. And I do think that the Broncos defense is very capable of keeping themselves double digit, depending on if you're just playing a standard defense or whatever have you. Against the Bengals, who again, like the Vikings ripped them apart the week prior. So I'm not going to say that's going to happen again, but the Broncos defense is very capable of doing that to any offense on any given week. So why not tomorrow night? So would you agree with that sentiment, or
what about Tyreek?
Well, yeah, he's down 17 with these two players that he has.
I think that's definitely possible for sure. I think Tyreek, just kind of after watching last week, I think the one thing like I'm seeing with him is like he's not it doesn't look like he's running by anybody, but I think like he can still get by people. He's not running down the field making big plays. Right. But he is finding soft spots in the, in zone defenses and things like that. And, and able to get some yards. And the Broncos going against Jake Browning. Maybe Jake Browning plays a good game, but I think obviously, you start off with in most leagues, you start off with 10 points with your defense. So I would expect anywhere from 12 to 14 points, maybe from your defense. And then, if you can get, 70 yards, and maybe obviously 5 or 6 catches for Reek, you're in a pretty good spot, man.
I agree with that for sure. We go to the Titans, who we didn't talk about on the show.
No.
And I mean, honestly, like we were taking Houston anyway, but it was something where it's like, all right, well, Titans still winless. They didn't score any points in this game. There's definitely time to panic when it comes to this situation. If you have the Titans, any Titans players here, like Cam Ward, I'm starting him in a damn super flex and he can't do nothing. Pollard, who, again, is going to see those boxes until they get this passing game situated. Ridley, not doing much. No Amenora, didn't do much today. No Chig. It's offensive line size. Everything is just trash for the Titans right now.
Yep. Yeah, there's not really much else to say other than the Titans overall look like trash. And I'm pretty sure Callahan was ready to punch a reporter in the face today. I don't know if you caught the coach speak. There's one guy that just keeps on. His name is Paul something. And he just keeps on with him. And I was like, he might actually punch this guy. But yeah, but I punch this guy. Yeah, but like too, right? Like the Texans have played a lot of tough teams early on. They played the Rams, they played the Bucks. I can't remember who else they played. Maybe the Colts, I think. The Colts. So they've had their they've had their fair share of difficult matchups for sure. And then like you talked about, man, like Woody Marks, 17 attempts. So obviously he had more carries than Nick Chubb today. Also as well, tied for the team lead in receptions today with 4, along with Dalton Schultz had 5. So second on the team in receptions today. So I think, like Woody Marks, I think it's officially Woody Marks season for sure. And as far as the Titans go, I think the memo is out. Whoever the running back is that is playing against the Tennessee Titans, play him because they're probably going to have a day. So, man, sorry, Titans.
That's pretty much that. Let's go to Adonai Mitchell blowing the game twice for the Colts in a game they lose by 7 points on the road, where they had plenty of opportunities to win this one. I had Vanilla Vic and I had Taylor. This is why I don't like these dudes. They just don't show up for me. Just don't know when to play them, I guess. But hey, better days are ahead, right? I'll say the Colts did show some fight, though, obviously, in this one. And the Rams, just the Rams being the Rams, like we called it in terms of how we thought I thought the Colts were going to at least get the 3 points covered, but knew the Rams would potentially win this game for sure. But Puka Nacua, man, dead wrong about drafting him at the 1-2 turn because of health situation. But so far, so great for Puka Nacua. Like, he's always been a darling of mine, but it was just more about like, hey, like he's always someone that potentially does deal with injuries. So, but kudos to the Rams getting this one done at their place.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I still like the Colts, man. I think, like, even though, like, they lost this game, man, they showed me a lot for sure, because not only was there, obviously the Adonai Mitchell botch of him, dropping the ball before he got to the end zone, resulting in a touchback, but then there was also the holding call as well that resulted in Jonathan Taylor's, crazy touchdown, touchdown coming back. So, like, I'm not backing away from the Colts at all. I think this was definitely a good win for the Rams. And then, like, actually, like, in the single entry on DK, $100 single entry, Matt Stafford was the winning quarterback.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
but he killed it today.
Yeah, but I mean, 375 and 3 touchdowns, like, that makes sense. And he was super dirt cheap.
Hey, weren't you talking about Stafford not being a good waiver wire plug and play QB on the waiver wire show?
Yeah, I sure did. Yeah. and I'll stand on it. Like, I'll stand on it, man. Definitely like a good game for him. This week for sure. And this was exactly what Vegas had said. Like, Vegas had said this game was there were going to be points that were going to be scored. And there were definitely points scored for sure. And then Kyren Williams, he was somebody that I had my eye on, like, in this spot here. I thought he was somebody that would have been able to dictate the game or help dictate the game for the Rams, but only 77 yards on the ground today. So, again, man, like, this could have been a completely different scenario, could have been a completely different situation, if not for those couple of mishaps by Adonai Mitchell. But all in all, man, like, nice win for the Rams today at home for sure.
Definitely. But the Jags are real. I didn't see them winning the game, but I thought the spread was perfect. The Jags, winning this game against the Niners. Trevor Lawrence. Doesn't look like Trevor Lawrence a little bit, wasn't he? Travis Etienne still doing Travis Etienne things. Like, are the Jags for real?
Oh, like I said this morning, man, like, defensively, they're better than people give them credit for, man. Like, we talked about it. Like, they're better defensively than what people give them credit for. And I think today was a really good example, right? Holding Christian McCaffrey in the running game to 49 yards, obviously. A day of backs getting a lot of receiving work today, 92 yards and 6 receptions for CMC. So, yeah, man, like, I think, like, hey, this is what it is, right? Like, this Jags team looks different. It feels different for them. Like, they're offensively, like, they're not fantasy darlings anymore because apparently, like, they changed their identity. And they are a defensive team here, and they showed that today, getting multiple turnovers against Brock Purdy today, who, cleared 300 yards and still had 2 touchdowns. So it was a solid day back for Brock Purdy in the office. But yeah, like, overall, like, the receivers, not a lot of positive things for the Jaguars in that space. But the 49ers, like, I think, their first loss of the season here. It would not have pegged it to be against the Jacksonville Jaguars, but here we are as the Jacksonville Jaguars are 3-1 in the AFC South. So yeah, like, I think it's time we start, putting a little bit of respect on their name defensively, specifically. Offensively, I think there's a lot to be desired outside of Travis Etienne, but defensively, I think this is a pretty good football team.
I agree. Totally agree with that. It remains to be seen what this Jags team will keep on doing, but this is definitely a team that is on to watch. Last 2 topics we got, the Ravens. How about the Chiefs, though? Let's just say that, too. Obviously, Lamar Jackson has that hamstring injury and stuff like that. But, man, 37 points for the Chiefs? Where the hell did that come from today? Where did that come from?
I don't know, man. I definitely thought the Ravens would have had a lot more to give out there on the field today. But really, Patrick Mahomes look good, man. Like there's no way around it. Like, we talked about it. I think I can't remember what it was. I feel like it was like 290 yards or something in all of the matchups that he had played against the Baltimore Ravens in the regular season. And he just picked up right where he left off in that space. And I think there was definitely some some notable things that had happened. I think Tyquan Thornton, a guy that, you weren't very fond of, found the end zone again. If we're going to throw shots.
We are, it's fine.
Yeah, and then Xavier Worthy being back too, I think like that obviously made a big difference in this offense as well. It's just that speed factor. So, and then Bashar Smith got getting more run. He's getting more run for sure. He's getting more run. Yeah. So he's getting more run. So this was definitely one of the bigger shocks for me today. And now all of a sudden the Ravens find themselves in a situation where they're 1-3. Lamar Jackson apparently has a bad hamstring. Yeah. And Cooper Rush is out there. And then all of a sudden, like you think about it now, like for, I know for me, for as negative as I've been towards Patrick Mahomes so far this season, we're only 2 weeks away from Mr. Rice coming back. And like business is probably going to pick up for the Chiefs in that space. But what a day for Mahomes, man. 270, 4 touchdowns, QB rating of 124. Just a monster day for him overall for sure. And then for the Ravens, man, like I'm out of words, man. Like I said, like they walk around like they in Hampshire, damn like zombies, man. Like Derrick Henry again, 42 yards on 8 attempts today, man. Like that's I don't even crazy, know. I don't even know what to say, man. Like so, yeah. So
it's looking so bad in Baltimore now. It's looking so bad. That's just unfortunate. Ashton Jeanty, national holiday. Where were you? Well, I was with Jeanty. Had a conversation with him. Gave him a call. I was like, "Look, Ashton, it's time for you to break out. It's time for you to show the people what you're really capable of. It's time to tell the Raiders to give you a full workload." And look what happened today. Ashton Jeanty, a freaking star-making day. We're hoping that definitely continues. Literally, Jeanty. Most people picked him in, that 1-2 turn of their drafts. 138 yards rushing, 1 touchdown, 17 yards receiving, 2 scores for a total of 3 total touchdowns, and probably winning people a ton of money in the process on DFS today. And then the Bears sneakily win this game. So like we called it. like we called it, right?
I wouldn't say like we called it because I thought the Bears should have handled business. When you get 3 turnovers,
a little bit close to your liking.
Yeah, they pulled what the Steelers did. Like, you get 3 picks on Geno Smith, and 25 points is all you have to show for it. And then Caleb Williams did not look very good today at all in any space. He looked shaky. The one thing I will say about him is this right here from a real world perspective. These are the games you got to find a way to win. And like as a team, like them finding a way to be able to win this game, I think that says a lot. So it wasn't great. Like that Caleb was who I had hitched my star to in the offseason. Did that today. He was my quarterback. Him and Herbert were my 2 quarterbacks. Herbert and Brock Purdy were my 2 quarterbacks. In most of my DFS situations, my single entries, and even in my GPPs, they were heavily owned. So he didn't really cut the mustard for me, man, with that 212 and 1 touchdown. And then just all the pass catchers today just didn't go very well for them. And Ashton Jeanty, man, like I ain't gonna hate on him, man. Like congrats to him today, like for the big day. On the ground. I will say this though, the Bears, it seems like the Bears are going to be one of those teams that
get right
defensively, they got some opportunities, right? So I think it's cool to see people cash in on the Ashton Jeanty piece, but still a lot left in my opinion anyway. There's still a lot to be desired for him moving forward. So
there is, but it's a great sign, honestly. You know what I'm saying? 138 yards of rushing. Like, that tells me if it was a different story if he didn't get close to 100. But honestly, like I gotta look over like that game in general. But I will say, like, this was one of the issues that the Raiders were having, trying to open up holes for him and stuff like that. But again, this could be the Bears, the Cowboys, could be spots for offenses that if they're in a hole or if they're not doing well, like this could be spots where if they play these teams, these are definitely nice bounce back spots, like you said. It remains to be seen how that will go, but that's just kind of how it goes. To the Sunday Night Football game we go, which is starting in a few minutes. Packers are -7 going into Dallas. Over under 47.5. I'm gonna tease this down to the 3 for the Packers. There's a coming out party for Micah Parsons. I think in some way, shape, or form, coming home-ish or getting revenge, stabbing in the back, whatever you want to call it. I have him to record a sack, one of my few defensive props today, if you could find it. -194 on DK, -180 on FanDuel. I'm going to take that because I think there's going to be a nice little present coming Dallas' way, and it's going to be Micah Parsons. Josh Jacobs to get 73.5 rush yards or more for FanDuel. Look, just think the game script's going to call for Jacobs to do it. I know he struggled somewhat in the rushing game, but he's played some defenses that have been decent to bottom him up. But he's a solid, safe floor. I think that Green Bay loves to have a balanced attack, so I do think Josh Jacobs, this line's a bit too low for Josh Jacobs. And then finally, Matthew Golden, 45 yards or more. I do think that Golden's got more opportunity. We've seen the last couple of weeks, he's had more of a snap share. He had 81% of snaps played last week for Matthew Golden. So I do think this line is a bit too low. I do think this is a spot where Golden can take advantage of a Dallas defense that we already know. They struggle with the deep ball. So Matthew Golden could find himself having a nice deep, catch downfield. So longest receptions definitely in play as well if you want to play that. But also, Matthew Golden played college ball at Texas. So this is also a spot where this could be a nice little emotional not bounce back, but good spot for him in general. So that's what I like for the props. Looking to go add 3 more to the column. We're over 500 as of the bets today. We went 3-1. But other than that, anything to say about this game in general, Johnny?
I don't know why you're scared at 3 with the Packers. I feel like this is just a smash spot for them, especially coming off of a loss going against a subpar defense like this. I don't know if I'm going to do it.
That's for parlay purposes.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Listen, that's fair. That's parlay purposes all day. But yeah, I think this is a smash spot for the Packers.
That's fair. I don't mind that either. Shoot, fuck Dallas. And yeah, Hayden, we did see your bets, bro. Yeah, I mean, look, I was looking keep sharing those things for sure, because they were definitely fire in terms of combining all of those for a decent plus play for sure. Definitely 25-11 for yourself. Okay, I like that. Doing way better than me. Keep it up, bro. Keep it up. And yes, F Dallas. Yes.
Yeah, nobody likes you.
Yep, absolutely. No, get him out of here. So yeah, look. Any final thoughts, Johnny, before we get up out of here?
Nope. Just pray for me to lick my wounds and come back stronger tomorrow.
Don't worry, buddy. Everything's gonna be fine. Next show we got Week 5 waiver wire ads and a double shot of Monday Night Football. We talk about the Jets and Dolphins. We talk about the Bengals, and we talk about the Denver Broncos. So we'll talk about all those games and some waiver wire additions there. And we'll talk about how to process the waiver wire, because there'll be teams on bye like the Packers and the Bears, the Steelers, Falcons, and we'll do over that. So definitely, much love to you too, Hayden, for sure. Hayden, for sure. But that being said, we out of here. We'll see you tomorrow, 6:36, whatever time, right before because we have a 7:15 Monday Night Football game. So we'll be here a little earlier than normal. So check your listings, so to speak, and we'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon. Peace.